These are probably some of the fattest ducks that I harvested all year.
Yeah, these remind me of the Nebraska birds you guys killed on duck lure.
Yeah, that trip was probably one of our best trips of the film season.
That's dinner. Give me a sec.
What do you think he's making for us?
Dinner is served, Max.
Oh, I love chicken pot pie.
Nah, man, this is like a wild game version of that. It's crow.
Crows have a bad reputation, which is understandable. Their piercing calls, dissonant and haunting. Their all-black coloration, gloom-ridden and unclean. Their diet, revolting. And their collective name, a murder of crows, is grim and foreboding. But despite being ominous symbols of death, I'll take my chances to discover a potentially overlooked food source where others fear to tread. I'm Spencer Neuharth, and this is Pardon My Plate, a show where we debunk and explore the human palate by eating what most consider to be repulsive, offensive, and altogether inedible. To lay the foundation, we will interview the MeatEater staff to find out what even the most ambitious outdoorsmen and women think about crow.
I'm just gonna give you two scenarios, and you're gonna tell me which one would you rather do.
Okay.
Would you rather not have Thanksgiving dinner or have Thanksgiving dinner and serve everyone crow?
Oh, I'd serve everyone crow, absolutely. There's no way I'm not having Thanksgiving dinner. My mom would kill me.
I think for the sake of this one, I'm just not gonna serve Thanksgiving dinner. There's better holidays out there.
An entire raw potato or eat a crow?
Raw potato.
A whole bag of black licorice or eat a crow?
I'd rather eat a crow.
Fast for a whole day or eat a crow?
Oh, eat a crow, for sure.
A toucan.
Is that legal?
A small chunk of a turkey's intestine that I cooked, or a crow.
I trust you more. I'm gonna go turkey intestine.
Ooh,
Is that a bad decision?
I think so.
What do crows eat?
Worms.
They eat a fair amount of trash. I think they eat a lot of leftovers.
Crap?
Everything,
So what do you think they taste like?
a little bit of everything.
I guess I really don't have a clue what they taste like.
Dirty pigeon.
Like chicken. Crap?
Well, I've had crow. I don't think it's bad, but it definitely feels like you're gonna get avian flu when you eat it.
Yeah, that's gonna be gnarly. Yeah.
So here's the deal with crow. Nobody eats them. The best evidence of this is the damn phrase, I ate crow. Saying this is an admission of humility when a strongly held conviction gets disproven. It compares being embarrassingly wrong with eating crow, or Corvus brachyrhynchos, implying that they're both hard to swallow. The true origin of the phrase is difficult to track because it's been around for so long. One of the first references to the foulness of crow comes from Leviticus in the Bible. These are the birds that you are to regard as unclean and not eat because they are unclean. The eagle, the vulture, the black vulture, the red kite, any kind of black kite, and any kind of raven or crow. The saying was Americanized in the 1850s from a humor piece in Knickerbocker newspaper. The punchline of the short story happens when a farmer eats boiled crow that's secretly been stuffed with chewing tobacco. After a few bites, he exclaims, "I can eat crow, but I'd be darned if I hanker after it." The phrase got used on an even bigger stage nearly a century later, during the 1948 presidential election. Throughout the campaign process, the Washington Post predicted over and over that Thomas Dewey would defeat Harry Truman. When the newspaper was wrong and Truman won, they owned up to their mistake and invited the president to a dinner party. This is what the invite read. "You are hereby invited to a crow banquet to which this newspaper proposes to invite newspaper editorial writers, political reporters and editors, including our own, along with pollsters, radio commentators, and columnists. The main course will consist of tough, old crow." Now that was a real party that happened, but they didn't actually eat crow. Instead, they served turkey. Real reviews of eating crow are hard to come by, and the ones that do exist aren't all that favorable. According to various soldiers and frontiersmen from the 1800s, crow was only eaten in times of desperation. One pioneer traveling through Kansas in 1859 listed the worst things he ate on the journey, which included cactus, wild onion, and crow. Now we could take this pioneer's word for it, but I want to try one of these things for myself. Because if crow is edible, we might have just discovered one of the country's most untapped resources. Most states have crow seasons with no limit on where you can hunt, what you can use, or how many you can keep. With an estimated 31 million crows living in North America, it's worth doing a taste test just to see what we've been missing. To help me do that, I've got Ryan Callaghan joining me in the kitchen to cook up a crow. This is the same man that made coot edible in season 1, so I've got high hopes that crow is going to be just as delicious.
Just keep staring into your soul, Spencer.
Kill a pigeon with that noise. First thing, Cal, you gotta talk to the camera more this year.
This year,
Yes.
in general?
Yeah,
Okay.
for this show, coot episode, you were not talking to the camera enough. So this time, right there, you talk to Seth more.
Well, coot's a real straightforward bird. Everybody eats that. This bird you can't even kill legally in the state of Montana.
That's right.
Expect an FWP to come bursting through your door.
These things have like such a strange conservation status that like Montana, you can't kill them. In South Dakota, you go across the border and it's like the gloves are off. You can kill them any time of day, unlimited possession. The season is like 4 months long. And then the weird thing is their population is 31 million in America. Deer, there's 30 million. So that's like if you had Georgia, where you could just kill as many deer as you want for 4 months out of the year. But then in Alabama, you can't touch them. That's how strange, like, I can't think of anything else like that.
Here's like the beef with this bird. Some reasons to kill this thing from a conservation standpoint, and it's off of the fact that they have this super sharp beak and they can scavenge and hunt, and sometimes the things that they hunt really have a hard time with any extra predation. Other than that, I don't think you should touch this bird. This thing is smarter than most 2-year-olds, humans. You know, in captivity they can live a long time, but outside I think they can live a long time too. Like a 30-year-old bird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put that against most people's children.
So I gotta assume we're gonna pluck this thing.
Just like the coot that we cooked last year, like if it's unknown, I think you start with a baseline, which is gonna be like a medium rare, salt and pepper, plucked on the grill, and then you have an honest opinion of the meat, and then you can build on it from there if you wanna keep messing with it.
We got the right guy. Cal declared that he has the pluckiest fingers of anyone you ever met. Oh my God.
2 of them.
You weren't kidding.
Put those babies on the skin, grab, and peel.
Let's see it. Let's see these pluckers in action. How does this compare to plucking other game birds?
It's in there with like the dove side of things, you know, real downy. The skin's tougher. He's got a good amount of fat on him.
Oh.
How'd you shoot this thing, Spencer?
With a shotgun. In a state where it's legal, South Dakota.
Were you set up specifically for crow?
Yes, I was set up for crow. I got a hot tip that these things were harassing fishermen on a local lake, ice fishermen. So if I had to guess,
How dare they?
yeah. If I had to guess this thing's diet, they would just follow the fishermen around the lake. So guys would be at one hole, they'd leave, go to another one. Crows would swoop in. I think they're eating minnows, junk food, and then probably some roadkill that they'd find nearby, and fish guts.
The humanity, right? I mean, these poor fishermen doing nothing out there, getting harassed by crows.
That's right.
Hitchcock, he was right.
These things were just like vacuums. Like a lot of birds we eat, the spectrum of their diet is about like that big. A crow, the spectrum for like their diet is as big as this island. It's anything.
And that's why, as we humans continue to screw everything up, this bird is gonna survive long after everything else dies.
That's right. They'll eat
Flaming hot Cheetos, as well as acorns.
Now, this thing is like a carry-on bird. What does that mean?
That's C-A-R-R-I-O-N, for those of you at home.
Not like an airport carry-on.
Really, it means that It's fine with cleaning up after something expires out there, whether it be from disease or vehicle mortality or waste from a gut pile. These birds will come down and clean it up. This would be my question, right, to you folks in the city. You ever had your garbage men disappear for a couple of weeks? Not be able to pick up garbage? That would be the equivalent of killing off a bunch of crows.
If a parasite exists, this thing probably has it.
Or it's got the gut of steel.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
The parasite that takes this bird down takes down humanity.
I like that theory. Let's roll with that. Man, this thing's gonna be pretty when you're done.
Oh yeah, man, people would be swapping out that Thanksgiving turkey in no time. Oh man.
Need a knife?
Just, I hate that so much. Airplane travel.
Don't mind the walleye blood.
Yeah. That's a heck of a foot.
These things have like the bird equivalent of Cal's fingers. Cal, put your fingers up here. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Twinsies.
That's why we got you here.
Look at that. Gorgeous.
That is. We're at Cal, right? You want high or low? High or low?
Ladies' choice. I'll do it. Thank you. Give him a little chest compression there.
There you go.
Take a hell of a vet to bring this one back, Spencer.
All right, so do your thing here. The olive oil, salt, and pepper.
Oh, I thought this would be an appropriate spot for you to jump in.
Okay.
If you
You
let
ready?
your
Is that okay?
fingers cool down from the first step. That's good.
I'm sure you could like turn this thing into chili or tacos or whatever, and you'd be like, oh yeah, it's crow's delicious. But just salt, pepper, grill. We're gonna learn.
What crow is.
That's right.
Yes.
We good for the grill now?
Smarter than a 7-year-old and ready for the grill. Now, can you walk me through why you now chose to pull the tongs out?
Because I just washed my hands. I don't want to get them dirty again.
Oh, okay.
We better bundle up. It is, it's a real snow globe out there.
Never let that cat out.
All right, we got this thing ripping hot. You run the lid.
Yep, quick.
Get this on there.
Yes, flatten him out. No, he's curled.
Oh no.
Okay.
Now, how long are you thinking? I'll remind you, we did the coot last time. A little overcooked.
Like just your opinion?
I think you shared the same opinion.
I like how you take a year to come back and tell me that. With our temp, I would say 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, starting to watch.
Should we stay out here for 8 minutes or like go back inside? Or get to check on it?
Cal, what do you think?
It's a beautiful spring. It's like the global warming monster. Takes all of our snow from what would be a good ski season and then dumps it on what turns out to be a terrible turkey season.
Yeah, you know what? This would be like the ideal weather to be in the hot tub.
It would be.
Yeah,
It would be. If only that were an option.
Let's get this thing off there, huh?
Yeah.
Feel good about that?
Yeah, like, you know, you kind of give it a little jiggle. We'll have
What
some
are you learning?
resistance to it. So that'll be done.
Is it ready to eat?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's dig in.
Tastes like salt and pepper. Delicious. Let me get this for you.
Thank you.
Don't let that cat out.
All right, salt, pepper, olive oil. How you think it's gonna taste?
It's gonna be somewhere in that like dark dove to maybe our Ralliday family of the coot, somewhere in there.
I can handle that. So like at worst, it's just gonna be like edible, and best case scenario, like this tastes good.
You know, there's that saying about eating crow, right?
What's the saying?
Well, it's something like that. It's in the Bible.
Oh no, hold on. Crows are so smart that they have a funeral for other crows. It's not to mourn the death of the crow, it's so the other crows can gather and learn what killed it so they can avoid a similar fate. This thing got shot by a shotgun, so we'll avoid getting shot by a shotgun then.
Yeah, and then all of its little crow buddies circle up and like stuff way up your exhaust pipe.
All right, let's see this thing.
I subscribe to funerals are for the living. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, I would say perfect. You feel good about that color?
Yeah, that's nice.
You nailed it. Ready?
Grab one of those chunks.
This is literally eating crow.
Smells like roast beef. It's in there with venison,
Yeah,
I think.
really good.
Yeah.
The outside is like kind of chewy, but that's not the crow's fault.
If I could get a good char on the outside, that skin would be a lot better.
That's great. And like the salt and pepper. Get out of here, Leo.
Don't let that cat out, Spencer.
Wash my hands. Start this over. And we got a real white.
Cats are so enjoyable to have in the house that if you touch them, you have to wash your hands. What do you think of the thigh?
It's like a thigh. We're getting to the tougher cut. Flavor's still great. Like genuinely good.
I'd feed it to your mom.
If this thing tastes like what it ate, then like you said, Cal, it probably ate venison.
Yeah, it ate a lot of roadkill deer that were also cooked to a medium rare.
What would you do with this if you were gonna like really church it up and serve this to folks you want to impress?
Well, you're describing like an apocalyptic type of scene where I'd be harvesting enough crows in order to impress people. You could probably do crow burgers. That'd be great. Because you could have like a nice medium rare burger and just strip the meat.
You can do anything with that. Let's get Chester in here. Chester!
Chip!
I just had the best day on set I've ever had, so I hope this doesn't ruin it for me, guys.
Find out.
Try it out.
It's awfully rare.
For who?
Parasites in here?
It was frozen first. I'll get rid of most of your parasites.
Holy cow.
No, it's crow.
That is actually very good.
I mean, like better than coot. I was very impressed with the coot. I think this is better than coot.
Yeah. It's got a nice flavor to it. I was expecting it to be livery, kind of, for some reason.
I had the exact same expectation.
And it's actually kind of sweet. It's pleasant.
He eats good.
Let's get Seth a piece. Honest review.
Yeah. Like what you all said.
Venison.
Venison.
Yeah. Yep. Maggie? We're going to rest it on the lip of the camera.
Cheers. Wow. It's not at all what I expected.
Now you can walk in someplace and be like, you know, it kind of tastes like crow.
Crow, I would recommend it, and I would do it again.
When I'm in that post-apocalyptic world
Uh-huh.
and I have my dwindling food supplies,
Yep.
I can at least high grade to crow.
There
Be
you
like,
go.
oh, you know, that's the good stuff, right?
It's a good strategy.
Yep.
Pardon my plate, but anyone who says you can't eat a crow should eat crow themselves, figuratively and literally.